why this is super important is that true business agility and digital agility require nearly continuous waves of change. Changes both large and small. Apps, processes, ways of working. Once digital transformations take place, they are truly going to be nearly continuous, nonstop. And if people think that the pressure from an agile transformation or a change effort is a lot, just wait until you see the amount of change, the tsunamis of it that are going to be spurred by digital transformation. So for those who are interested, I have another quick poll here. Are your teams and leaders ready for the speed of this nearly continuous change? Are they even getting ready? So I'll pop over to those results for those who are interested in participating. And I can also share with you when we're done the level from the last time that I had this survey. Oh, interesting. Look, those numbers change. Wow, Agile, Digital, and others, 7. Very interesting. Wow. Okay, somebody's teams and leaders are ready for this. That's great. Congratulations. I know in the companies I've seen, they were not ready. Not at all. And I don't mean just your Agile teams, right? I mean the whole company. Is your company ready for that? Because Agile teams, we're always ahead, right? We welcome change. But so far we've got one company that's ready. I guess that's better than no company being ready. But I could say for sure, in my last 4 transformations, they were not ready. Not for the pace of change that was coming. I think even as we saw companies struggle with the remote work, a lot of companies got brought to their knees. Like everything stopped while they figured out how to go remote. That's a sign that they're not ready. So if your company, took more than 4 hours or 8 hours to seamlessly transition to remote work, then they're not ready for the pace of change. Very few companies really have a strong culture of change built into their DNA. And to survive and thrive in Agile, we need the ability to change with ease, with poise, with creativity. This has to be built right into the DNA of a company's culture, to be natural to the employees, so that when something changes, they say, oh, great, right? Bring it on. And most companies are not there. And when we talk about Agile transformations, it's the successful embrace of that mindset. Once you have that, you can adapt to any kind of change. It doesn't just have to be on your Agile project, right? So I've seen teams that adapted to Agile that when other changes are thrown at them, literally the mindset has shifted, and they don't suffer from those changes. They thrive with it. And this element of the Agile mindset is desperately going to be needed. Lean and Agile have introduced these new ways of working to help us thrive. And we as Agilists can set the standard for how we welcome change. Companies need to find the way to build change culture into their DNA. And Agile helps do that. And the grass will be greener for companies whose cultures, whose leaders and teams really have learned how to welcome change. And that's the nature of the Agile mindset. Inherently, we support building up people's ability to adapt. And just as a contrast, if we think about the Agile Manifesto, one of those first values is that we value responding to change. that we welcome change even very late in the game. And if we flip over to the website of the leading change management methodology, we find these quotes. Resistance to change is normal and expected. Change creates anxiety and fear. Now, both of these may be true, because as we embark on an agile transformation, we often do find resistance, but our end goal is getting people not to just undergo that one change, but to broaden their mindset to embrace change broadly. That is a very fundamental difference. It's a very different way of thinking about what change is. In bringing up this topic, I want to emphasize that every change model has value. As I mentioned earlier, I came from a change management background, right? I have some change management certifications in addition to my agile ones. Change models of today are continuing to evolve and grow in very powerful ways. And these new ways of thinking have not yet gained traction in the corporate world, and many agilists are still not aware of them. So there's this great need to make sure that agilists are aware of this growth in the change management space and adapt to it as well, and find ways to incorporate it and align with it, as well as support the way it's implemented in companies. Much to be learned from all approaches, but better alignment is needed. So another quick poll. I'm curious to know what formal certifications or credentials do we have in our group? Do we mostly have Agile credentials? Does anyone have change management credentials? Does anybody have both? So here's the poll link for those that are interested in taking part. And I'll swap over to the results. I'm happy to share my own personal background. I have certifications in both areas. So let's see about everyone else. Wow, we've got a bunch of people here that are ready for the accelerated pace of change. Excellent. Okay, some time for that to. So far, we've got Agile credentials. Keep an eye on that.